What's up, guys? It is Spencer with the Fantasy Fanatics. I'm here with Nathan. Nathan, we say this every week, but it's already week 8. It's a sad time. We're almost officially to halfway point.
Yeah, it is very sad, but that's how it goes. All we can do is keep the show plugging along. We have week 8 rankings for you this week. We got an early Thursday game, so make sure you get your lineup set. We're going to start off with quarterbacks. We've got QB1, QB2, and bench tiers. We got our top 20 here.
Yep, top 20.
You want to get us started? You want me to go?
I'll go. Jimmy G is heading to the bench here.
Trash.
He's facing the Rams. I have him at 18. Nathan has him at 20. He's gaining Christian McCaffrey, which should help him a little bit in the passing game. Hopefully, Debo will line up as more of a receiver for him too. But you're still benching him this week.
Yep. Next, we got Joe Burrow. He's in the QB1 tier. He's been on an absolute tear recently. If you have Jamar Chase or Tyler Boyd, you have been ecstatic. What did Joe Burrow throw for like nearly 500 yards last week? He's a set it and forget it at Cleveland. Cleveland's defense hasn't been very good. He's been on an absolute burner.
Side note: I think it's funny that the two players you just named are the two Cincinnati receivers I don't have on my team. I have T. Higgins and Hayden Hurst.
And bum.
Exactly. And it's very frustrating. But Trevor Lawrence is at QB 14 for us this week. We have him in the QB2 tier. He has faced Denver, so kind of a tough matchup. Christian Kirk has definitely gone down a little bit, but he does have Travis Etienne, who looks like an absolute superstar.
Dog.
But just a mid-tier QB play for us this week.
Kyler Murray, right behind Joe Burrow. He is our QB5 this week. They play at Minnesota. He got DeAndre Hopkins back, which is such a plus. They're getting Robbie Anderson integrated a little more, and he can always run. He runs like a sewing machine. You're playing him if you have him. You're going to be very happy.
Derek Carr, our QB11, goes to the top of the QB2 tier. He faces New Orleans. I have him at 13. You have him at 9, so you're a little bit higher on him. He has great receivers. Darren Waller, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow. Now Mac Hollins is a guy. I just think they're now a run-first team with Josh Jacobs, who looks like Barry Sanders back there.
Next is the guy who's going to be backing up Jalen Hurts in the Pro Bowl, Geno Smith. He is going to find the QB2 tier. He's our QB9 on the week. They play the Giants at home. Geno's been an absolute stud so far, so hopefully keeps it going. Probably won't have DK, which is definitely going to hurt, but Marquise Gibbon looked very good for him.
Best quarterback of all time. He could be facing the steel curtain, and we'd still put him at 1. Josh Allen. Not much to say here. Just look at him. Just what a magnificent player.
Dak Prescott finds the back end of our QB1 tier. He's getting healthy. I think his hand's going to be fine, and he's getting his weapons back. Slowly but surely, everybody's getting healthy. Dalton Schultz getting more and more healthy. He's got a great matchup. They play Chicago at home. Chicago hasn't looked good apart from, last night when they absolutely battered the Patriots. Dak, you're playing him. You've probably been waiting around for him to come back, and now excited he's back. Plug and play him. I think he'll put up good numbers.
Yep, Aaron Rodgers is going to slide in right behind Derek Carr at QB12 for us. He has a super tough matchup against the Bills. He doesn't really have any receivers, but he's still a QB2 play because his name's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Lamar, kind of the same thing. You're playing him regardless just because he can run. He plays Tampa, who's been kind of a dumpster fire as of late, but normally they have a pretty good defense. It doesn't matter with a guy like Lamar. You're playing him without a doubt. He is our QB3.
Justin Fields is moving up the rankings very, very slowly, but he still is. Our QB15 this week faces Dallas, so a tough matchup, so this might not be the week you want to play him. Maybe wait till next week or the next couple of weeks. But the rushing's there. We always knew that, and he looks a little bit better in the passing game, or at least they know how to use him.
Yep. Giselle's future ex-husband finds the top of QB2. He's looked absolutely horrible, even with his weapons. So it's kind of weird. They play Baltimore at home. We keep saying every week, like, this has got to be a get-right game for Tom and Tampa Bay, but I think that it's got to be this. Otherwise, if they lose this week, there is going to be riots.
Yeah, another person who's moving up the rankings. I can't believe he's here, but he is our QB10 this week, coming off of a 100-yard rushing game. He provides the rushing. Not much, there at receiving besides Wan'Dale Robinson and Saquon out of the backfield. He has a great matchup against Seattle.
Yeah, the 2022 NFL MVP Jalen Hurts is going to go right behind Josh Allen. He is our unanimous number 2 quarterback this week. He produces every single week he plays. He's our QB2. They play Pittsburgh. I don't see anything wrong with Jalen Hurts. He's a perfect player.
Well, you see, the gap from Jalen Hurts to Jimmy G is like bigger than the gap is, or is smaller from the gap to Jalen Hurts.
That's just nonsense.
You know, Josh Allen is still the QB1 after a bye week.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. Well, that's because Jalen Hurts had a bye too.
I think Jalen Hurts could have had a career game. Still wouldn't have passed the GOAT. But Matthew Stafford, QB 17, slides in right above Jimmy G on the bench for us this week. I am at 21. Nathan has him at 16. So you probably have him at like a low-end QB2 tier or a low-end QB2 play.
Yeah.
I have him as like just one of the worst roster quarterbacks. He does not look good. The only thing that's keeping him up, if he didn't have Cooper Kupp, he'd be down there with Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett. I mean, it is not good for Matthew Stafford right now.
Jared Goff hopefully gets a healthy Amon-Ra. You know, they yanked him with a concussion without a concussion, which makes no sense. He's going to find the top of the bench tier. I don't think you play him this week. They play Miami. He's got a pretty good defense. Hopefully get Swift back, which is going to help him. But you should have a better option. Hopefully, for Jared Goff's sake, Amon-Ra plays the whole game. DeAndre Swift doesn't get hurt, and maybe he can return to that QB2 value, but not this week.
Yep, Mariota is the QB 19 for us this week. Faces Carolina, which is kind of a tougher matchup. I'm at 16. You have him at 23. So obviously you're a lot lower on him than I am. But he provides rushing. Just it's not pretty. I mean, he's not very good. I think it might be Desmond Ridder time here soon. Yeah,
I agree with that. Captain Kirk, our QB 13 slides in right behind Aaron Rodgers in the QB 2 tier. Hopefully you do have a better option this week. If you have Kirk, you're banking on Justin Jefferson going for like 300 yards or Dalvin Cook taking some screens to the house. Otherwise, I think he's the back end of QB2. Hopefully you've got a better option.
Yep. The noodle arm himself is going to find himself in the low-end QB1 territory. We have him at QB7 this week. Facing Detroit, so a great matchup. You know, if he didn't have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, he might be down there with the red rifle.
But can't you say that about like every team? If you're like, oh yeah, they didn't have their 2 best receivers.
No. If Jalen Hurts didn't have his 2 best receivers, I think he's right here. Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers has about a bunch of nobodies. He's still right there. Tua stinks.
That man went head first with like 12 concussions last week. I respect him. The red rifle. Sandy Andy is the very end of our bench tier. He threw the absolute life out of the ball last week, but that's because they were getting
for making the list.
Yeah, you know, they were getting smoked last week, so they had to throw. If it's a closer game, I think they lean more on the run against Vegas, but Vegas looks like an absolute wagon with Josh Jacobs. So I don't know, maybe keep slinging it, but I doubt you're starting him this week.
Yep, I agree. But that will be it for the QB rankings for week 8. If you like the content, leave a like, subscribe, check out our Twitter, the FF Fanatics 3, our website, theffanatics.com. Nathan, you got anything to add?
Yeah, drop us a comment on what you like, what do you want to see different, what do you want to see new. Subscribe, like you said, if you enjoy the content, and be on the lookout for the running back video